Hello, good afternoon, and welcome again to another episode of Financing Forward with the GDB. And it is actually episode 6. Can you believe we've had 5 episodes before this? So, episode 6 of Financing Forward with the GDB. And this is a program where we tell you about all our products and services as it relates to what we do here at the GDB. Remember, we're celebrating 60 years of service to the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique this month. Joining me today is Mr. Kingsturn Noel. And I know this is a special one, especially for the people of Carriacou. They would recognize the face and the name. So Kingsturn is one of our experienced loan officers here at the Grenada Development Bank, and we're here to talk to him about the Mind Your Business loan. That's for entrepreneurs. We have our GDB business mortgage program and also the revolving line of credit for small contractors. So quite a bit we have to cover, but we'll make it very short and digestible for you. So just to get into it, first of all, I want to welcome Mr. Noel to the program.
Thank you very much. We're so really happy to be here.
All right. So let's start off with the business mortgage program. And what is it all about, and what type of businesses does it support?
Thanks again, Ms. Marie, for having me. As most folks would know, Grenada Development Bank is a development, as the name says, a development bank. And we focus a lot on business development, entrepreneurship, helping folks to grow their business. So as a snapshot, we pay attention to the manufacturing, the transportation industry, tourism, agriculture, and even some of the services sector that might seem sort of minor, but they're very important. Like maybe a person who may be into just maybe purchasing stuff and sell, like a trader, like someone who a trafficker. That's those businesses we do focus on assisting, and we are big on agriculture as well, because we think of sustainability, and agriculture and manufacturing, including tourism. They are some major businesses that we pay particular attention to under the GDB business program.
All right. So just going back to the mortgage, because most times persons would associate a mortgage with purchasing land to build a dwelling home, but we have a mortgage specifically for business. So could you just identify the difference between the regular mortgage and the business mortgage, and how this can help business persons who want to purchase land and possibly build a plant or what have you?
Right. Well, thanks again. So now, as it relates to the business mortgage, excuse me, you may have an existing business, or maybe new, but let's say on the part of an existing one, and you're looking to expand, you're looking to do some diversification. You may have an existing place where you offer rentals, like apartments, and because of the influx, because of the demand for accommodation in the country, you may want to increase your stay-over capacity. So what we do, we do as it were a mortgage, meaning which would represent like the security that's been used to as collateral for the operation, for the business. However, what we do is that we may say to you, bring forward the property you may have, look at your business plan, look at your projections, and with that now we can see also, if it's an existing, we look at what you would have done in the past, what the records would have shown. We look at your income, your expenses, and with the projections, or you tell us or give us an idea going forward, where do you intend to be? How much more you intend to build on or generate from the business operation? And the mortgage is just a word there to give ideas to maybe how it is being covered or reviewed. But the main part is it's a business loan program, and it's geared to ensure that financing is available to boost that business, to make funds available for different aspects, whether if it's expansion or just growth or equipment, whatever the case may be, it all falls under that holistic business program support.
All right, so you were beginning to mention some of the key steps and key things that will be looked at as it relates to the business mortgage. So if you could just briefly take us through that again.
Right. Now, as it relates to the are you speaking about the processes?
The process.
Right.
Yes.
Now, you must have a business plan. Even if the business is new, and furthermore if it's existing, we would encourage it to have a business plan being registered and in full operation. Now, what we do, we pay attention to the projections, as I mentioned earlier on. We require that the individual present a plan to us stating, what they would like to acquire, where they would like to be, and look back. We also look back at where they are right now, and we get an analysis, an appreciation of what sort of aspiration that business is able to generate or is able to accumulate, and we try to offer as best assistance. However, as it relates to the processes, what we do, we have not a lot, but a few requirements that would need to be satisfied in order for us to assess the application. I mean, one might say, well, why the requirements? Now, the requirements, along with the projections, has to do with your IDs and so forth, based on the location. I mean, and sometimes we even offer advice as to someone may come and they say, well, listen, I wanna do maybe 10 apartments, and then we may say no. You may want to do based on the current market and the operations and we look at what's happening around, and they say no, maybe start with 6, do 6 first, and then okay, so we don't want you to go deep into the expense, and then eventually it doesn't really have the adequate generation to cover what your expenses may be. So we offer the financial advice for the business as well. Generally, they would like you to come up with at least a 20% equity. We would like to see that in terms of cash, or if the business is existing, we can provide up to 100% financing for expansion or diversification. But with that being the case, we would need to also see that you would have already provided or made your input of at least equivalence to closer to 20% input. You may wonder about collateral. If you're able to come, provide that 20%, some may say, well, I don't. Where I am is family law. It's not properly. The conveyance is not in place. We have a connection or a relationship with the ECPCGC. We offer which can offer up to 80% security value for the remainder of the borrowing, as the case may be. Yeah. All
right. So thank you for that. And folks, if you're joining us via the World Wide Web, our Facebook page, we're here with Mr. Kingsturn Noel, one of our loans officers. So we just discussed the business mortgage. Now we are moving to the Mind Your Business loan. And sometimes when you mention this loan to persons, they may give a little chuckle because of the name. But just quickly, if you can share light on the Mind Your Business loan and how persons, what is it and how does it help budding entrepreneurs?
Right. But with the Mind Your Business loan, that's as the name. As you said this morning, it leaves a bit of chuckle because you wonder, you mind your business might sound like you're being told to, mind your business. Don't be nosy into other people's business, which might be the same. I mean, you may have as a working individual, or maybe if not, maybe employed with someone, or maybe a small scale business. You may want to expand. You may have a business idea. Say for instance a little bakery. You have the building. What you need is equipment to establish a business. Now, the Mind Your Business loan is for entrepreneurs who have that business idea, that business capacity, and believes. I mean, you must believe in yourself. You must believe in the business, and you must believe that you can make it happen. You know, you have that business idea, and we, on the other hand, we offer the financing for that business. Under the Mind Your Business loan, we can give up to 30,000 unsecured. However, if it's for the purchase of equipment, then we advise to do bill of sale over the items. Ideally, for someone who's employed, we would request a salary deduction to cover the payment, and in the sense that helps to gives the individual a chance to maybe save and turn over the cash on the business while the loan payment is being adequately repaid and consistently repaid. So one of the things that we look at for employed individuals is a salary deduction. It helps, and it makes the process a lot easier, and also it helps that person to ensure that the repayments are timely and for that said loan.
All right, so you heard the details about the Mind Your Business loan. $30,000, pretty much unsecured, but you would have to be employed, gaining a monthly salary, and you would have to do your salary deductions in terms of repayments. But just imagine you have a business idea, you're employed, but you want to do your own business. Here is a Mind Your Business loan to give you that funding. Again, what can they use that funding for?
Right, well, you have various purposes. You can use it for working capital, you can use it for an vehicle, for equipment. Now, say for instance, and this is from experience, a customer has been employed in the hotel industry for several years, and while being there, he has seen the possibility and the opening for to provide taxi service to, sometimes various guests come in and you gotta be, struggling along to get, persons to do tours and taxi. And never so often that employee has, time off or days off, or maybe he's, based on his work schedule, he has some free time. We would have previously done a vehicle loan that could allocate for a taxi operation, so that that individual know when he's off, or maybe he's off day, or maybe he finishes duty, he can now provide taxi services, and in that process accumulate or generate extra source of income for himself and increase his livelihood.
Okay, that's great. So you've heard about the Mind Your Business loan, and I think once it's business, we would want to know that the business is viable. So it's along the same lines in terms of the documents that will be required?
Yes, definitely so. The only difference is that we would now need proof of your employment and confirmation from your employer to facilitate the salary deduction. But basic requirements, as with any other loan, would be your proof of identification, proof of income, proof of address, and then we would encourage that even if it's a startup and a first time, we would still encourage them to have it registered, because compliance to local taxations is key. I mean, we would encourage them to ensure that the compliances, the relevant NIS or other means of insurances are being paid to make sure that we are following the line of the regulations of our country.
Yes, so I'm really glad that you mentioned that. So when you come to the GDB seeking business loans, we are very big on compliance, and you must have your business registered, also registration with the Inland Revenue Department and the National Insurance Scheme. All right, so we went through the Mind Your Business loan, went through the business mortgage, and now we come to the revolving line of credit for small contractors. We know how construction works in terms of having a project for a few weeks, a few months, and at the end of it, the contractor, would be paid what is due to them from the project. But sometimes they would need to expend some capital, whether it's to pay workers or to get equipment or so. So just tell us about the revolving line of credit for small contractors, and how does it give the contractor more leverage, a little bit more wiggle room to do what they need to do?
Right. Now with the line of credit for small contractors, that's a very key product that we offer, because most of these contracts that are signed and ready, funds are not readily disbursed or made available for the start of the project, and especially for government contracts, they would start to disburse funds after you would have reached to a certain stage. An engineer comes, certifies that you have completed stage A, and then they disburse funds. So you can't be struggling and wondering where the funds are to get started. So that's where GDB comes in. GDB makes funds available upon, of course, you must have the contract duly signed and agreed upon. We would review the information on the contract, review the costing, and maybe have a discussion as to what the profits will be on the contract. And GDB is able to offer financing up to 60% of the contract value. We can do, I say it again, we can do up to 60% financing of the contract value. Also, we can do up to $100,000 unsecured, maximum $100,000 unsecured. So we would need to see that contract signed, get an idea as to the term of the contract. Also, we would review it, and then a determination will be made as to how much it is. We would also need to assign the funds of the contract to the bank, because the bank would make sure that whenever a payment is made, it passes through the bank for control, for compliance again. And that being the case, once we have these conditions in place, then we can look at the finance in the contract. Also, one of the things we look at prior experiences, prior contracts being done. We would ask you for an outlay as to what you would have completed so far, successfully completed contracts, and maybe idea as to what your profits would have been, profit margin would have been, and I mean that helps to add confidence to the bank that you're an individual who actually gets it done, and have a fairly good understanding as to what it entails, and then we look at it and we are willing to offer financing. We do financing for materials, to cover labor, mobilization, whatever the case may be. And as I said, we can do up to 60% of the contract value.
All right, so thank you for that. So to the contractors out there, the small contractors, if you're in need of funding between projects, you can always come to us at the Grenada Development Bank. We'll talk to you about your project and see how we can assist you with financing. So over the past 6 episodes, you've heard a lot about our products, and you would realize that the GDB has a lot to offer in terms of business loans, education loans. Today you heard about the business mortgage, the Mind Your Business loan, and the credit line for small contractors. So Mr. Noel, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me today. Any final words to someone out there who has a dream, they want to start their own business, or they want to expand, or there's a small contractor out there somewhere? I know you're one of the friendly faces that they would see, so just offer some words of encouragement.
So firstly, I must let you know there that we at the credit department here, we have made a significant amendment to our team, whereby we would have added a support clerk, and that makes the process for each of the loans somewhat seamless, whereby you can now come in, lay out what your plans are. That individual would review the documents, so they can tell you, even it's not to say you had to go to the loans officer and you say, oh, I'm waiting so long. They would look at what you present and tell you what you may be missing, if any, and the person will be able to confirm with you that all documents are in place. So you can know from there on how much of a, what basically is the anticipated status. It's not a conclusion, but it's an anticipated status of the facility. They would, as I said, once all the documents are received, we present it to the relevant authorities for reviewing, and a decision is made accordingly. So I would finally want to encourage all our folks out there in the state of Grenada, coming in. Consider GDB as your source of financing, especially for business financing, development financing. You have a business idea, don't shut it down and think to yourself, oh, that wouldn't happen. Come on in, have a chat with us. Let's see how we can make it happen. Join you, collaborate with you to make it happen. And as this gentleman Bob Backer from the show would say, come on down.
I love that. I love that. All right, so Mr. Kingsturn Noel, one of our GDB loans officers, one of the friendly faces that you will see when you walk through the door. And as he said, come on down to the GDB. You can call us at 440-2382, or you can WhatsApp us at 405-3242. So if you have a dream, you have an idea, you can come to the GDB and we will assist you. And that's it today for our program. It's the 6th in the series, Financing Forward with the GDB. You've heard so much, and we still have more to offer. We are celebrating 60 years of service to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and we intend to do so going forward in the future. So that's it for now for Financing Forward with the GDB. We'll be back next Wednesday at 2 p.m. and we hope you will join us. Until next time, I am Ria Marie, the Communications Officer of the GDB. Thanking you for joining us.